Welcome back to the Warriors Den, everybody. Thank you, live studio audience. We're excited to do this show today, as we were last week when we announced our dedicated servers plan. And today we're going to give you a look at our new heroes, amongst a lot of other new information coming in Season 3 of For Honor. Very quickly, the news. We don't have a lot of news items, so we'll get right into it, don't worry. The PTS, we finished our second public test this past weekend, so thank you to everybody who participated, everybody who gave feedback both on the defensive meta changes we were testing, as well as the tournament stuff that we were testing. It went really well, so we really appreciate everyone taking their time to do that. We're going to continue to do those in the future. We'll give you updates when we have more. Also, the For Honor Hero Series qualifiers have wrapped up. So again, thank you to everyone who participated in that as well. We're going to have Luke on later to talk about the specifics of who won, including the caster competition. It was a tight race. Another cool thing I want you all to know about, our friends at the r/For Honor subreddit, the moderators there, are running a giveaway. So you saw the t-shirts that we had on the show last week. I should have brought one this week to show you again, but the season winner t-shirts that we have for the Samurais, they have 20 of them that they're giving away. The catch is they're not just giving them away. They want you, and I want you, and we all want you to create some cool stuff. The idea is we're going to have a lot of new people coming to the game for Season 3, so we thought it would be a good idea to start making some guides for newcomers, video tutorials for newcomers. So for people who create those, the mods on the For Honor subreddit will choose 20 winners and give out those shirts to who creates the best. So go check that out. It's the top sticky on the subreddit right now. But that's a cool initiative, so thanks to the mods over there. Here's a bit of news coming this weekend. Max, if you want to hit the image, we've got another special game mode variation event, this time Realistic Elimination. So you played Realistic Dominion a couple weeks back, and the response was really positive. So we want to see what you think of Realistic Elimination. It's going from August 4th to August 7th. That is starting tomorrow. So play it and let us know how it goes. It's just when you go to the Faction War, it's in the special event section. And there are actually some special orders that are tied to that as well. I don't have the details in front of me, but you'll see them in the game. And also coming this week, if you haven't seen it already, the new content of the week. We have emotes, as well as a couple new executions for the Shinobi and the Centurion. As you know, those are our Season 2 heroes, so they're playing a little bit of catch-up on some of the content that we've done, so that's why they're getting 2 executions this week, in addition to emotes. So let's roll the video and check it out right now. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. We're getting into it. Welcome back to the show, Biojad, Kermac, and for the first time on the show, Stefan. Stefan is one of our fight designers. Kermac is online team?
Game designer, yes.
Online team game designer. And Bio, you're part of the player engagement world, is that right? We're in a lot of different camps.
Team lead game design for the player engagement, yeah.
Boom. So we have all these folks here, as I mentioned a few times. We don't have Rahman or Damien this week, and these are the people who do the actual work. So they're going to join us to talk through the patch notes. But before we talk through the patch notes, you just saw our very cool CGI intro with a little taste of our new heroes. You see our new heroes behind us. But let's take a closer look. First, this man over here, who we call the Highlander. Let's check it out. Just a taste. Just a taste.
That was a tease.
I would call it a tease, you're right.
It's really
It was a bit of a tease, a glimpse. I promised people a glimpse. So yes, that is the Highlander. My most personally, I've been excited about the Highlander since I found out that we were doing a Highlander. I love the movie Highlander.
It's great, yeah.
I love Braveheart.
It's exactly the same.
I love kilts.
It's not.
Bagpipes?
But I know, let's check out the other character. This one that we call the Gladiator. That is our Gladiator, and you mentioned...
Yeah, she's also available in female version.
So you can choose the gender of that one. I'm pretty hyped. So Steph, since you're the fight man here on the couches, do you want to give us just a little taste about what's the deal with these two characters, these two heroes?
Sure. The Highlander is a Viking hybrid. Sorry, I don't know where this
So you're on that.
On the ceiling.
He's stoic and guarded. Highlanders are patient heroes, and they're capable of switching between two different fighting forms. The defensive form allows them to counterattack, trade blows, and really be interesting that way, while the offensive form empowers them to unleash their deadliest attacks. They've got a big unblockable heavy. They're going to be awesome. He's got the heaviest sword in the game. It's a massive claymore. So he's got strength, he's got range, he's got versatility. So it's going to be great.
So rugged.
Yeah, I like that.
He's so rugged.
I think it's the offensive form. He just sort of drags the giant sword behind
so
because it's so big.
I really like it.
Yes,
Yep.
you really feel the weight of it.
He's different. He's going to be fun to play. I've switched my main to him.
Yep.
Some other people have on the floor.
I can't.
He's very fun.
I can't play him. It's too hard. It's really hard.
He's marked as hard.
Yeah.
So,
For a reason. It's very interesting to see, and so versatile. Oh, wow.
You did it.
Oh shit. In the game, because you can switch with those two stances. It's really nice when you defend the zone or when you want to go on the offense. It's a very great pick for a team.
I think he's really cool that way. And when you're right, and you're going to kill the guy.
Yeah.
Which is super satisfying.
In the last PlayStation, well, I've been wrong a lot because it killed me many times.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's breaking me all the
tried
time,
to
too.
play Gladiator, so that's my fault for trying something new. I'll go back to the Berserker.
So speaking of the Gladiator, tell us about him/her.
Slasher, yes. The Gladiator's a knight assassin. It's got a trident and a shield. So has made a living off of killing for sport. And now they bring their ruthlessness and skill to war. Marketing is happy now. So
I told him he didn't have to read the marketing words, but he's
no, but
going
they're-
for it anyway.
They're cool. They can punch your...
You're doing great. You're doing great. The marketing guy's not watching you from the back of the room or anything.
Not at all.
Not yet. Don't link it to him. So they can punch your opponents. They can create separation. They can stun. They can get in their attacks. They're faster. They're fun. They're effective. They also have a larger stamina pool and quicker regen cooldown. So I think you're going to be able to much more jump into Gladiator, kill some opponents, win some games.
I've heard Rahman sort of describe the Gladiator a bit like a boxer. Is that accurate?
Yeah, he's showy. He's got like these like bop bop, floats like a
Butterfly, stings like a bee.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. He's got all that. The person who won our last brawl tournament within the team has seemed to have switched his main to Gladiator, so that tells you it can win some games.
Oh yeah, yeah, some
a
great
great
gap
idea.
closure, and you're right about distance. He's very cool to zone opponent, and he's cool in cold combat and a bit farther. I like him. I switched to him because of the customization, because it's amazing.
Yeah.
To be
Triton.
honest. Oh, because I go through every gear to see if it's a basic, a heroic, a legendary, whatever, and that guy or girl, I was like in love with his gear. It's so nice. There's some
Yes.
aquatic team gear. Yes.
There's a particular purple thing that one of the outfits that I've seen that is unbelievably awesome looking.
Yeah, he's very good looking. It's very cool.
So yes, it is a tease this week. We'll get more in depth next week. I know that you're like, well, stop talking, show me more. This is what we did last season, so hopefully you're expecting it. We're not going in depth. We will next week. We're actually going to have the art team on to tell us how they created the characters, their influence, as well as the maps next week. So we are not done by far. And I think if people want to see, Max, if you could, I think it'd be worth re-rolling those videos again. Just give them another look. Or not.
Maybe.
So yes, tune in next week for a lot more on those characters. But we're not done. So even though Roman and Damon aren't here with us this week, they're here in video form, along with our friend Luke. So, so let's check out this video that they did. They put this together to sort of give you a taste of a bunch of the different things happening in Season 3. Let's check it out.
A new season in For Honor means a lot of different things, from new heroes, new maps, a total revamp of the look and feel.
It's the first time we do a season that big. We introduced the tournament and ranking. That's a huge activity that players were waiting for, where they can really play against others and show that they are the best at the game. So it's the biggest season we've ever done, so I'm super excited to see the reception about that.
Once a player understands the matchup of all the different heroes, we want to bring new one so it shuffles the battlefield.
We're bringing two new heroes to For Honor. A new Viking, the Highlander, but also from the deep south of the Roman Empire, we're bringing you the Gladiator.
How it works on For Honor is that the new heroes are available at the beginning of the new season for the season pass owner, and 1 week after that, everybody can access them.
So with Season 3, Grudge and Glory, we're introducing two brand new maps. One that is the Sentinel, that is a ruined castle that still has one big tower standing.
The Sentinel comes with a ballista, so you can shoot other players on a medieval battleground, so it's super cool.
The other one is the Viking village. It's really capture the feeling of that raiders Viking village up in the north in a cove by the water.
So we're adding a new rarity level mostly for the players that already completed their heroes, that want to get new visuals also for their armor or for their weapon, but also to get different statistics. At each new season, we have a breadth of new players coming into the game, so we shorten also the progression for them. So the first levels, the first rarities are easier to access, and then we have the high rarities that are more for the long-term players, so then everybody can find something cool to do with their heroes.
we're bringing the first step of our competitive experience with tournaments in duel and ranking.
We organized close to 15 tournaments before the game even shipped. So for us, doing tournaments is a normal thing. We paid very close attention to what the community has been doing and all the tournaments that have been organized. So for us, it was just a natural step to bring a competitive feature into the game.
That's one of the cool things that the new season, yes, it's 2 new maps, 2 new heroes, but we're also doing a lot of improvements on the site. The UI team, for example, worked a lot on is the heroes menu. So now when you select an execution, when you select an emote, you can see, you can play with it, and that's a really cool thing the team was working on.
We've taken a close look at some of our existing maps, and we've looked at how their arena duels were behaving. We've made some of those arenas bigger, we've removed some traps, we've made them less lethal to improve the player experience while playing in duel in these maps.
Our intention with Grudge and Glory is to bring a breath of fresh air into the For Honor experience.
Because basically what we've done since launch is that we fixed stuff, we've improved stuff, but on top of that, we're adding new content, we're building new content for each new season.
We're adding ranking, we're adding new improvement to the customization system, we're adding new feature to the metagame. We really want to demonstrate our long-term support and commitment to the game, and that starts with Season 3.
Yes, that video gets me so hyped, that music and everything.
Yeah.
And
Super epic.
for the super fans of the Warriors Den, you might want to know, I won't tell you where exactly, but within that video, you get to see Pascal in the flesh. He's there. He's here in the
He
room
is.
as well, so give him a shout out or an FU, however you're feeling.
I don't get why you pick on him so much.
It's because he's such a sweet man.
It's very sweet.
Before we dive in, you had a reaction during that video. We were reading the chat. And people's reactions to the gladiator we were discussing. I don't know if you wanted to-
Oh yeah, we were reading, and people were saying that it's like Centurion 2.0, and it's just like not.
They're
at
very
all.
different.
It's not the same way, and those melee at all combat is much more. It's much faster. It relies more on his attack and dodges. I feel when I play it, it's way more nimble, and his customization is more rugged. There's old chest and
Right.
ties, which is great. Also,
Got a lot of stabs, so
Lots
I
of
mean,
stabs.
Yeah,
he's
the
gonna
range
be
is different completely.
So he-
light attacking, quick, so you can block. There's things you can block. It'll be
They're
good.
they're super
There are
different.
things you can block.
I guess they're both Roman Empire, but
Right.
yeah.
I guess psychologically I understand why they would make that connection because they're Roman and they're presented by Roman. But no, they are very different.
Coincidence?
Yes.
I think not.
Stop with this conspiracy. I'm trying to make them stop.
Conspiracies
fuel it.
will
Don't
live with
fuel
us
it,
Roman
please.
forever.
I know, but please stop.
So a quick note, in case you missed it, August 15th is when the season kicks off. And for that first week, the 15th to the 22nd, season pass holders get the exclusive access to those new heroes. And then on the 22nd, if you don't have season pass, you can buy them with steel. They're 15,000 steel each. You can practice with them during that 1 week period. You just cannot purchase them. So that is pertinent information. And now, shall we get into some release notes stuff?
Sure. We'll talk about the fight notes first.
Yeah.
Perfect. Before we launch into that, I just want to say, echo something that you said earlier about the PTS. Thank you for participating in the PTS. That's huge for us. We need to see what is your feedback. How did you feel about it? Did the results that we changed change things the way we want? Are there unintended side effects? Did it not go far enough? Did it go too far? Your participation is critical to that, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So right now what we're doing is analyzing this. So that will be coming down the line, certain changes, we'll see. Keep tuning in here and we'll have that info for you.
Right. We tried to make a big point last week to say what was in that PTS is not what's in the DLC because you did have a ton of feedback and it wasn't all like, it was a good range of feedback. So we're not just pushing all that stuff out live now and telling you to deal with it. We're actually reading the feedback, looking at the data, and analyzing all that. So yes.
Perfect. So let's launch into this stuff. the main changes that you're going to see here are, we think, the super safe but super helpful changes. So the one thing that you are going to see from that was in the PTS is a ship damage change. We had this. We wanted to do it before we even knew for sure that we could do the PTS. So it's there and it's here. So that's going to be cool.
Right, because the submissions for this DLC, we call it DLC 2, the Season 3 DLC, the submissions for it were before the PTS even happened.
Yep.
Yeah, so figuring out what's in what branch and making sure that it's all, that can be tricky with timing. But we bring you positive change today, I think, that we're all looking forward to. So chip damage is now increased to 18%. It used to be 2, 5, 10, with a bunch of different rules about what was your light damage, blah, 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 blah. Too complicated. So now it's 18 across the board. Note that this only applies when your attack is regular blocked. So this is not going to help light spammers because they are interrupt blocked. You see their sword go ping and then they don't
go
cause any
through
ship
the
damage.
armor.
Exactly. Ship damage is not lethal, but ship damage stacks with ship damage gear stat, damage buff from feat boost, and revenge damage bonus. It doesn't stack with attack defense gear stats. So
And
that
what-
makes sense for everybody.
One of the pieces of feedback that we saw in the PTS that people like chip damage, they suggested it could be a bit bigger. So is your team looking at that right now?
Yeah, we don't want to go, like, we didn't have the opportunity to make a change from PTS because this was submit before. We think you will feel it a little bit, but isn't going to, like, drastically change the game in any way, but will help us in those cases where the opponent refuses to do anything but block.
You can make it bigger with your gear also,
Oh,
and I will touch.
Maybe we'll
on
get into that.
later.
Teaser. Perfect, so that's chip. Revenge state update is the other one that we knew we needed to do. Basically what happens now is in revenge activation, you're going to be immune to melee attacks. Further, while in revenge, you won't be interrupted in your attacks by melee attacks. And while you're in revenge, your melee attacks will no longer unbalance the opponent. Why is this good? Because right now you're 2-on-1. Centurion's trying to kick you. You have revenge on, and you still get locked down by kick while the other guy stabs you to death. We think that's frustrating when you're in the revenge portion. So
agree.
revenge now, your attacks continue, like if you're hit by a regular attack. On the other side of the coin, you're in revenge, you're the warlord, you're headbutting the other guy. On live right now, you unbalance the guy, you knock him down. That's frustrating too for the other guy. So now yours are not going to knock them down. Caveat that we do have is there's 2 bugs for Centurion's jab, post-heavy finisher, and Conqueror. First is still going to knock down. Second is still going to be knocked down. These will be fixed in a coming update. The other change to Revenge is shield boost has been increased from 50 points to 70 points. So you should be in a good spot while you're in Revenge, I think.
cool. And there was a parry change that was on PTS, right? That is not.
Yes, that's right. To be super, thank you. To be super clear, we do not have the parry changes in this in the DLC 2 patch. That was only put in the PTS because we want to test that. We don't want to just deploy these more contentious, do they do what we want pieces. We want to actually find out if it makes the positive impact that we want it to, rather than just shoving it in there. So, not yet, at least, and certainly not today. Next up, disabling moves. Further looking at melee attacks, we're making some changes to some melee attacks to reduce their stun lock capability. The list of these moves: Centurion's Charge Heavy, Valkyrie Sweep, Shinobi's Heavy Finishers, Conqueror's Sprint Shield Bash, Warlord's Crashing Charge, and Raider's Stampede Charge. So basically what happened before is you could get hit by one, and then if a second one hit you while you were still being hit by the first one, it would lock you into the same animation. That's no longer the case. They will now follow the same rules as every other attack in the game, where if you're hit by one, you play the special hit reaction, but if you're hit by a second one while still in this one, you'll play an in-reaction hit reaction, which is shorter, and if you get hit by something in this one, you will not play a hit reaction, so you'll get out of it. So there's no more forever hitlock for these moves.
So this is one of the big Centurion complaints, right? Like the crowd control.
Yeah, it sucks when two, whether it's Centurion or whoever, like two guys just surround you and go pin, 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 and you can do nothing. So the philosophy throughout the game is if you get hit by the second one, now you'll have special properties and you'll be able to get out. So the worst case scenario is 2, and then you have some opportunity to move. We want to apply this to these moves.
Cool.
So we did.
Great.
Other changes, a much more minor one. Out of stamina attacks, Warlord, Valkyrie, Conqueror used to have superior block or super armor on their out of stamina attacks. That was strange because they're like, I'm gonna block and hit, and the timing was weird, and it was, so we just get rid of it. It makes out of stamina a little weaker without being something that doesn't make sense to us or to you, so that's cool. The big one is guard switch. There were a lot of people that noticed a bug that we saw where your guard switch would not activate in the correct direction under specific timing conditions. You would see that mostly for assassins who had the reflex guard, say after a dodge, they wanted to put it in top, but guess what, it's in left.
Right.
That sucks because you get hit and it's not even your fault. So we found a bug, we fixed it on the code side. I guess maybe special shout out to Alex XSWX, which is hard to pronounce, but cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for the write-up on Reddit. It was super clear, it had the video, it had reproduction steps,
Yeah, it was perfect.
and coders love reproduction steps. So that makes it really easy to fix, and we can prioritize these things.
Totally.
I'm almost at the end, so
Don't worry.
but I think the ones that people will like here, Warlord Crashing Charge had a bug where if the opponent is imbalanced, you can Crashing Charge him, drop him, Crashing Charge him again, drop him, he can't do anything, and you carry him to
Across the map, off a
Yeah.
ledge.
40 meters away. Yeah. So we fix that. We fix that. You can't, like, it's obvious what happens, you can't. So, hooray, right?
Yay.
Finally, Lawbringer Blind Justice can now be feinted and can now be followed by shove on hit. And the other thing I wanted to say was on PTS, we're really interested to see, like, people had a lot of passionate thoughts about Lawbringer's post-parry results, because on the PTS only, we were messing with what you gain after a parry, how much timing you have, what your great punishes are. And some people were worried that maybe we're going to obsolete this move because it was no longer guaranteed against a light attack. That's not our intention at all. As you can see here, we were looking at this anyway. We want all moves to be useful in some situation. So please continue to put your passionate thoughts and what you hey, this move isn't working on PTS. We're in the same boat as you. We want the same things. So
We all want the same results.
Yeah. So just wanted to make that clear with this one move. There are more minor bug fix and adjustments on fighters and some minor feat balancing, but we're going to post the full patch notes.
Yeah, if you want to look at this, I have the full patch notes, and it's 22 pages.
Yeah.
So we can't feasibly read every single thing on the stream. But yeah, there are a bunch of little bug fixes that, like people here, there. Oh, cool, I want that. Yeah. So definitely check it out when we post them. I don't have a date when we'll post them because I'm still waiting on the final version of this. But just stay tuned on Reddit, stay tuned on forhonorgame.com, and they'll be posted as soon as we are able to. So thank you, Stefan.
Thank you.
And I think that was a good introduction to our community. Maybe there will be some Stefan memes. If it happens, I apologize in advance.
Calling them.
But yes, thank you so much. So stick around here. We're gonna bounce the patch notes discussion over to Bio.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, hi everyone. I'm gonna start with some things about the faction war, your favorite, everyone. I know, right? So first of all, for the new season, like last season, we added 9 new territories, 3 per faction. and
the
it
map
allows us,
continues to expand.
yes, it's growing.
I like it.
The world is growing, and it allows us to put the new maps in the Faction War also. So otherwise, in terms of Faction War, we fixed a bug that was called active duty for an achievement. If some of you didn't get it, then you will be able to have it whenever you're going to deploy next time.
I've heard a lot from those people, so I'm glad we got that fixed.
Yeah, we know. And we have a completionist on our team, our FA. He wants his platinum trophy, so he was actually angry and pushing for it. So we did it. We did it. That's been found. And for the Faction War, this time it's almost everything I have, except we have a new feature that's called the War Banner. Ooh. And I would like to show it to you guys, if you mind.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm here on the tactical view. On the map, you can access this between matches or before a match. So
this is our dev build. Don't look at the round winners and think there's more conspiracies coming.
Yeah.
I just want to say that
it's
now.
randomly generated right now.
It's internal builds. So
It's an
we're
internal-
testing with those environments.
So the War Banner, what it is basically a pre-selection for all your war assets. Whenever you go on the map, between matches or before a match, you can place it. I see here I have a samurai build, so I'm very upset. And you can place your War Banner, and you can remove it also, of course. And what it does is every war asset you're going to generate are going to go to the War Banner as default.
So you don't need to put them back every
Exactly. You
match.
don't need to do it every match. You can still do it between matches and go back and override your War Banner. You can also move it or just place somewhere else, or you can forget about it. And it's going to deploy all the war assets here, which is very useful for people that care about the Faction War but find it a bit tedious to go every game, or because you want to see your rewards and you don't have time to allow your war assets. And if the territory is not valid at some point because the round changes, so you're going to be notified and your War Banner will be removed, basically. You don't lose the war assets. It's going to go back to the other system that's still in which you deploy to all of the
across
territory
the front,
of your faction.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
Pretty
it
cool.
for
That's a cool change, and even just
Pretty nice.
yesterday we were looking on Reddit. A guy suggested almost that exact same system. It's like,
Well,
aha!
it
I
took
told him
us-
tune in today. I hope he's watching.
It takes some time to create it, to code the new mechanic, have the assets, of course. We've been working on it for a few months, but I'm very happy with it. I think it's going to help.
It's a great feature, yeah.
Yes, I'm very into this. And those will still register as manual deploy. So like when we're looking at the data
Exactly.
after.
They're considered as manual deploy, but we have data on
That's
on it separately also.
Oh, cool.
Because we want to analyze.
Oh, very cool. So that'll be
how
cool to
people use
see how people start using it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. All right,
Very
and
nice.
Carmack,
Yes.
what have you got,
So,
Mr.
Also-
Online?
Mr. Online, yes.
So-
Damien,
so
so
as-
far away right now.
As part of the online team,
Yes.
you're also part of the overall team that's working on dedicated servers. is that right?
Exactly.
Woo.
Yeah. We've been working on it for a while, but we could not talk about it.
Of course.
So, shout out to Team Onion.
Team Onion.
Team Onion
Oh,
is
yeah,
our
Team
internal
Onion.
name for the
dedicated-
project. So, shout out to the team.
So you call the dedicated server project Project Onion.
Yeah, because of the layers of the onions, infrastructure layers, and all the complexity
Why-
of it as well.
And because
so-
it makes you cry.
No, it doesn't.
This
It
is
will
why you're in
fix
design and
the-
not marketing. We never market something called
Yeah.
Project Onion.
Yeah, in the code, literally right now we have a few references to
great.
the onions and such. So we're making puns, developer puns. It's
Excellent.
fun.
The
Yeah.
best bonds.
So what have you
yes.
got to talk to us
Yes.
about for season
So-
3, though?
For some of you that have played the PTS, we had the tournament included as well. For the PTS 1 exclusively, and for PTS 2 with the changes with the defensive meta. We got a lot of data, #data,
Yes.
about that.
Hashtag Damien.
#Damien as well. And it's great. We got a lot of feedback from that. Thank you, guys. What's great right now is that for Season 3, we're officially releasing the dual tournament in the game.
Woo!
At
Yes.
season 3's
Yeah.
beginning.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
amazing
Great.
rewards
Yeah.
also.
Oh, yes.
Exclusive
Exclusive
rewards.
rewards.
Yeah.
Shiny rewards.
Super shiny.
They're super shiny.
Super shiny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to play tournaments now. No.
Yeah. But it's still gonna be in beta for a while.
Right.
The reason why that we're launching only the dual right now and in beta is that we want more data. I'm joking about that, but it's true. It's not possible for us to balance the ranking before also knowing how the community will react. For example, from the PTS, we noticed that players were, of course, more fiercely competitive, which meant that their skill was higher than what we expected. Players went even above what we had as our skill rating before, which was surprising. So the boundaries that we had, the system for the ranking that we had set up was working well for PTS, but we changed a bit how it's going to react now, a bit more responsive to what we saw from the community in
They
the
were
PTS.
so try-hard.
It was crazy. There was a guy that played his 20 matches, placement matches, so, and then he was Diamond 3.
What?
And then he was bragging. We know you. You were bragging on the internet about being the greatest guy,
Oh, yeah,
the
that guy.
greatest player, and all. You play your 20 matches, then you stopped. Now we want to see you back. We want
So
to
you
see
didn't
what you're
actually
gonna
compete.
get. That if you're gonna go that far again, we want to see you. It's a challenge.
I like it. I
But
like
the
it.
tryhardness made us do some changes to Duel, right?
exactly.
Tryhardness.
Also, because it's ranked and because of the competition aspect, players don't necessarily have a lot of honor. Let's say in
For honor?
yeah,
Even
in For
less
Honor,
than normal
they have
play.
less honor in rank than usual. So we've added a change with the anti-run system that we're calling it in Duel.
Another great marketing name.
Oh yeah,
Anti-run.
anti-run.
I call it anti-cheese, but
Yeah.
it's even
Yes.
worse.
I like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. The idea is that if we detect that you're running away from your opponent because you're winning, for example, the duel, we're gonna lower your speed and start a stamina drain. But those are very specific cases and conditions. So if you just want to get back from the opponent and just replace yourself on the battlefield, that's fine. The system will respond accordingly. You won't get any penalties for that. But if you're literally running away, running in circles for like a few seconds, 10 seconds, the system knows that. And we're gonna just boost the speed of the pursuer and lower down the speed of the runner, and also having a stamina drain. As soon as you interact and you get close to the other guy, that stops. So it's not something that's permanent. It's not something that we want to be like a permanent penalty, for example. It's only just for the pursuing aspect and just the running part that was annoying with some characters, for example, the assassins. So now it's fixed, and that change will be part also for all the duels. So not just for tournaments and ranking, also for regular duel matches.
Cool.
So it's pretty cool. And also regarding that, there was also another change regarding that. We made sure that the tie-breaking rules were updated. So right now, what we're gonna do is that if both players finishes a round and they haven't killed each other's, then we're just gonna check who has more life, who has more health points than the others, as a percentage, of course, because all characters doesn't have the same level, and on that we're just gonna make the one that has more health win.
Can I
So
interrupt
that's
you?
Pretty simple. Yes.
Jab FTW is asking, console ranked?
Console ranked?
Is this PC
course.
only or?
No,
No.
it's all consoles. PS4, Xbox One, PC. The ranking right now is universal. So if you're playing on console, if you're playing on PC, wherever you're playing, you're gonna have your ranking.
Great.
You're gonna be able to play the tournaments. We're sorry about the PTS only on PC. We're working on that.
It's
But,
hard. It's
yeah,
hard. It's hard to do that
more
on console.
complicated, yeah.
Yes, as our friends saw in the division.
Exactly, yeah. With the compliance aspect, and a
Yes.
few things on
Takes
the
a long
dev,
time. Yeah.
dev side. So we're gonna ship the tournaments for season 3. We're gonna ship the rank 1v1 duel, still in beta. We want your feedback for that. For those of you that played on PTS, we've done a lot of changes regarding the matchmaking rules. For example, you're gonna fight against players that have one division more or less from you instead of 2 before. So it's gonna be a bit more focused towards the current skill that you have. Other than that, we've changed, of course, the boundaries because what we saw in the PTS was not making any sense for that. So we updated it. A lot of bug fixes that you haven't seen in the PTS as well. That was from our current build in the game. That's going to be there. But for now, we want to focus on that. Dual, 1v1, beta, on all consoles and PC. Give us your feedback. We want that, and that would be lovely.
Cool.
Yes.
Surely that's all for Carmack Polewska.
Sorry, the one note for the tiebreaker
Yeah.
mechanic, it goes to the winner is the person with the highest percent
Yeah,
HP.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
if your meter's longer,
yeah, if you
you win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very simple explanation.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you're playing a character with a shinobi which has lower health, it's still the percentage of the bar. Yeah, exactly.
Another clarification question on tournaments
Yeah.
from Sophie McSophieface, one of our favorites. When you say dual tournament, do you mean dual and brawl or dual only?
Dual only for now. Yeah. We're working on having brawl at a later point. We're not announcing it yet because we really want to focus on ironing out the details on the tournaments and on the ranking. So
Yep.
that's why we're also saying it's beta, right? For the moment. But it's going to happen. I won't reveal when.
Great.
Yeah.
But you've got more to tell us, not
Yes.
just tournaments.
Yes.
What else is going on?
That's one. Regarding also the rest of the patch notes, we're introducing a big quality of life improvement in the game regarding the rematch flow. So whenever you end a match right now, if the timer goes to 0 and there's not enough players in your session, that was with matchmaking, we were kicking you back to the main menu, which sucked because we had that in the game. It worked, but now we were a bit tired of that behavior.
It really cuts your flow.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in the zone.
We want to
and
keep the players back in the game, back again, etc. And that was a big issue that we had. So now, automatically, player will be sent back to matchmaking. So, if there's not enough players, we're saying it's fine, send back to matchmaking. If you have a group, no group disband anymore. That's a big one as well. All the group messages are now also by another message system, so you won't get stopped in your flow. Everything about that is about making the flow faster, better for the players.
So it means I can go grab a beer between games and I'm not gonna end back
Yeah,
disbanded.
exactly. Yeah.
Great.
Exactly.
Not I would do that ever, but
Never. We never do that.
no.
Beer.
We're an M for mature game.
Yeah.
Beer's fine.
Okay.
Okay, we love beer. Also, in Dual and Brawl, you're gonna have also the option to rematch against the same opponent now, or choose another one.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That was something requested by a lot of players.
So you finish your match,
Yeah.
and there's an option right there without having to back out.
Exactly. So you're saying, I want to rematch against that guy, or I want to just go back to matchmaking automatically and play against someone else,
Cool.
for example. It's really cool for that. That's the first version that we have right now, just going to send you back to matchmaking. We had feedback from top players, for example, about questions about, am I going to play against the same person? For now, if that same person goes back to matchmaking and you're very, very close in skill, yes, it can happen because you're both going back to matchmaking. But we want to improve on that as well. And later on, because that was also a big feedback from the community, that not only that they want to go back to rematch or have the possibility to go back to matchmaking, but also say, I've played with that person 100 times. And that occurs as well for the top players a lot, because there's not much players in their skill range, and they always play against the same players. And that will allow them later on to say, let's try someone else, right? Let's try someone else that I haven't played before with.
Cool.
So we're working on that. Right now, it's just first step, putting you back into matchmaking.
Cool.
So that's great. Apart from that, we have updated the text chat privacy.
Oh.
Yes, to reduce the toxicity of our games, of course. So what we did is that you can just change the scope. You can say group to team to all players in the game at any time through the F9 key. Shout out to Blue Byte that did that, our PC team. And you can also see who's having which privacy setting. So If you're in a match and someone is just ranting against you, you can just block him out. You can just change the scope of the text chat.
But by default, you wouldn't
By
see
default,
that anyway, right?
By default, it's group right now, but it's going to be much easier if you want to talk to your team or to the others. Just change the scope quickly, talk to them, and come back.
Yeah.
If their scope isn't the same as yours, they're going to be able to see it. So if you just want to complain, it's fine, you can do it. But if they don't want to see it, they won't see it as well.
Right. So for people like me, I get yelled at enough all day. I don't
Yeah.
want to get yelled at while I'm playing.
Exactly.
I don't need to do anything because by default it's off.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But if you want to just shout out to your team, you
Of
can
course.
just do it.
Yep.
Very easily.
Great.
Other than that, we've improved on the 1v1 dual PV versus player versus AI system. Now you're gonna be able to have your rewards. Back then, there was a lot of abuse we saw in the systems. We fixed a few things. We now feel confident that players can play play against an AI in duel through the faction war and receive rewards and XP. So that's also a big one.
Yes, that's one that people have wanted for
Yes,
a while.
Exactly. it was more complicated, let's say, than that.
Yeah.
Because since you're not playing against someone else, the implication of checking the sanity of the sessions and all, going a bit in details, but it was a bit tricky.
Yeah.
Now we fixed a few things and it's ready.
And just a thing from our director Pascal, I guess
Yeah.
people are talking. what do you mean about toxicity? And
Yeah.
if I may,
Yeah.
it's one of our top priorities. So we have a kind of a priority board of what the
Yeah.
team's working on, and there's stuff they can do on the development side. The text chat change is a big example of that.
Exactly.
But it's a priority for me as well because I'm the guy who's in the community, and it's no secret we have an issue with toxicity a lot of
Yeah.
the times, both in the community, but also in game on PC because PC is where you can do text chat.
It's normal for online games. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just that for us, we really want to just take care of that actively.
Yep.
That's one of the changes that's going to go on. There's going to be others in the
Right.
future. Yeah.
It's not our desire to keep it in a toxic state.
Yeah, exactly.
Either in the community, on Reddit, wherever, which is actually, we've been making changes there. We have kind of a new moderation team, which is awesome. And people are making a lot of efforts across the board to fight that battle. And in fact, I've started to notice, just as a quick aside, in the last few weeks, especially with the dedicated server stuff, like I'm noticing a noticeable shift in the tone.
Yes.
And I would just ask you, the community who's watching, it's really, a lot of it is on you to carry that forward. I'm not proud that we have a lot of toxicity in our community because that's a big part of my world and my job. And I really need your help to start to really combat it because you see in all the conversations on Reddit or wherever, everyone just has a much better time when there aren't people chiming in with game is dead, stuff like that.
My
It's not-
favorite comment.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So that's just my impassioned plea to you watching out there to help us fight that battle. We're going to do it as much as we can on the dev side. I'll do as much as I can on the community development side, but it really needs you as well.
Yeah, it's
So.
one of our big focus right
Yep.
now. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, we're taking a long time, sorry, but hopefully this is interesting stuff. So Bio, you have some more to share.
I'll go fast.
Okay.
I want to talk about the gear. As I mentioned, and you probably know we're going to have new gear for the new season. Before that, just a quick note that we added 10 new reputation levels. We had more and more players that were level capped with their main heroes at level 30, and now you can go until level 40 in your reputations, and there are rewards exclusively for those levels, of
Nice.
course. Specific outfits for people going to be super badass with those heroes.
Yeah, maybe next week we can give a little more of a look at some of the new gear when we have the art guys on.
Yeah.
be cool.
But we will look, at least I will tell you what we're doing. We're doing legendary weapons and armor. Legendary. Only for the raider. All of the other characters don't have that rarity. It's a joke. It's not true. It's not
Glad you clarified.
So we have 4 new legendary weapons for all heroes and 2 armor variations, except for the Islander and Gladiator. The second one will come later. Sorry, guys. But they still have one. So you have that. And it's the visuals and also new stat bundles. As you know, you can loot a stat of the level you are in any visuals, but you cannot loot a legendary visual when you're not at legendary level. So you will have tons of new gear that you can loot, and you need to be repetition 7 to get legendary gear stats and visuals.
Okay.
They're so beautiful.
They're very
amazing.
nice. They're very nice. We added gems.
gems.
The gems. The
Ooh.
gems. Yes, I
Seriously.
love them a lot.
Shiny.
So
nice.
to accompany those new gear, we review the crafting prices. As Damien mentioned in the video, we don't want it to be too grindy and for people to have to play for a whole season before they can have some good gear. So what we wanted to do is to be about the same time for someone that start from scratch to reach the last rarity. So we changed all the crafting costs. We changed also the amount of loot you're gonna get at the end of matches. You're gonna have actually have more loot to every game mode you play. PvAI, PvP, you get more loot. And we also use that opportunity to rationalize the amount of loot you get per hour per game modes. The way it works, we calculate it in terms of loot per hour. So if you play duels, you're going to let loot less often, and if you play Dominion, get it more often. But now we have more data about the actual meta, and duel taking a bit longer because of the defensive meta. So we changed those numbers a bit, so people that play any game mode should receive the same amount of loot, which is bigger than it was before. You can have all those numbers in the patch notes. I won't go through like 60 percentages and new changes of gear. It will be a bit long. Otherwise, the other great
Bless you, Luke.
improvement, the other great improvement we have is concerning your hero menu and the way you can customize a character. And I'm going to show you what we added in the game. Thank you. So we have greatly customized Nobushi with legendary gear. And yes, one of my favorite ornaments, cat ears. So what we changed actually is the way you can select your execution, emotes, and modifics. And like you see right now, you can actually see your hero in action whenever you go and you want to select, buy, or apply.
It's the best.
It is the best, and you can also see it in full screen in all its glory.
And
So
it's in the current customization, which I think is awesome too.
Yes.
It's your hero. It's beautiful. I love this change.
It's yes, I really like it also. And so you can see also the modifix I have is equipped. And it's the same thing that's going to happen if you have different executions, different customizations. So you can see exactly how it's going to look. And you can do a better buy, better equip, and you can be happier with your purchase, I hope.
Yeah, and it prevents people from finding those little videos, those crappy little videos that
It
were
also
stored in the
helps
game.
us for the leaks, because there's no crappy little videos. Here we just spawn your hero exactly the way you customized it, and we made him do the action. So it's a great improvement for us, and I hope it's a great improvement for you too.
Yes. Do you also want to just give a look at the Lawbringer that Max took all that time to customize?
We can look take a look of the Lawbringer also.
And look,
for
you
sure.
can see our new heroes in the menu.
No. Where is he? Oh, he's
Right there.
here.
Yeah.
So we have the same thing. I just gave a tease of the legendary gear here. No. So it's the same thing depending on your heroes. See different modifix, different customization, and you can see it perfectly
The
in all
best.
its glory with nice camera. This is the camera you would have in game, so it also helps you do a better purchase and see how fucking badass you are. I like that execution so much. So, thank you.
Great. So let's bring it back. Look, we've got a new person on the couch.
Wow!
Kermac has morphed into his final form.
Which is Edgar.
So I think people might have been a little surprised and excited. I was watching some of the chat during the video. We're updating some of our older dual maps, and
Yes.
that was kind of a thing that you worked on.
Yes, yes. So we took a look at the dual maps, the current dual maps and how they are. And we knew that some of the locations in these dual maps were probably very prone to ledging.
Yeah.
So I know there's people on both sides of the argument. Some people say ledges are the worst thing, take them all out. And then there's people who reply with, you're using the actual game mechanics, get good. So I want to make it clear to everybody that we took the three most offensive maps in terms of ledging. So these were maps that would, you could have matches last less than 5 seconds, from start, and it would the ledge would be staring you in the face, just like, thrown. So we did want to remove that. So we can show the video of the first map that we made a change to.
So basically,
So here, what we can see is that in the Overwatch map, those trap doors would open at match start. So what we did was, instead of having them open at match start, we put them on a timer now. So giving you the time to actually have a proper duel, to be able to, move around the map better. And then when those trap doors do open, you've probably placed yourself in a better position for that fight. Or if you're a very good duelist, you've already finished your duel before they've even opened. I won't say what the timer is on them. If you guys really want to know, you can probably go check that out in the patch notes. But that little element of surprise.
Day
I
one,
want it
have
to
a
be
little
there.
surprise.
Exactly. So you'll see. And the other change being that the broken bridge there, again, a lot of people would probably move to one end of the map and just duel there. Whereas here we made the change so that both bridges are available and you meet up in the center.
Where the stairs go up. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have a better duel space there.
Very cool.
So we thought that was much
it's
better.
a pretty big arena in that one.
Yes, it is. So, we had a little variation there. And also another note for the trapdoors on the timer, that's also included in elimination mode as well.
Oh.
So when you spawn at that area, they will also be on the same timer.
Huh. I did not know that. Great.
Let's show the next video. This is an obvious one. I think a lot of people will be happy to hear that this is now gone. There is no more bridge in Duel.
But it was so epic.
Yes, but this is much better. This is actually right under the bridge. Yes, right under the bridge, and this was actually a better, more comfortable duel location to have. You can dance around each other, have a proper duel. There's probably one ledge in the far back. If you're desperate enough to want to try and ledge your opponent, go for it. But yeah, this was very much an obvious choice for us to remove.
Cool.
And we can show the last one.
The Tower Ruin.
Yes,
My favorite
Tower Ruin.
map.
I think this one also, it's a gorgeous map, but this dual location here was very awkward to fight in. So now we have it lower in the gardens now, and it's quite epic when you have the cameras staging you in there. So again, that was a bit of an obvious choice, And also of note, we don't have it here in the video, but the other location where you spawn along on a balcony with a nice view of the vista, that balcony is now full railing now.
Aha.
So again, a lot of people would ledge a bit too quickly in those instances. So we kind of want the fight to go on a bit longer than that. We still have the little fountain that's lower. So again, you can try and ledge someone there if you really want to.
What I really like is you have more room to dodge and do different
Exactly.
techniques. Since
Exactly.
I main Berserker, it was hard in those to do
Right.
to do dodge attacks because it was so narrow.
Yeah.
With the new ones, I can dance, like you say. Around
Exactly.
my
Yeah,
opponent.
yeah, yeah. So we really want players to be able to express their moveset, and rather than just win within 5 seconds with a obvious grab.
Yeah, and we're super excited on the fight team as well because it's good to have a certain amount of death zones. That you want to have.
Sure.
So
Dead
yes,
zone.
but also so that's a good help for the characters that don't have massive throw distances.
Yeah.
But also there's a strange artifact at the start of certain fights where fight and then we both run to the safe
Right.
part.
Exactly.
And then we fight.
I think
that's gone.
moving forward in the future, we're also going to take a look at other maps that perhaps, if people feel the need to move to a certain specific location of that area, we kind of, that's a bit of an indicator for us that maybe there's a bit of work to do there. So I'll say maybe this won't be the last 3 maps we'll look at.
Cool.
We have a few ideas for other maps
Great.
as well. But
Maybe
some
even
point.
other modes maps as well?
Yes, well, right now the level design team is very hard at work on DLC
Right.
and a new game mode that we're also implementing.
What?
Yeah. Spoiler. So that's all I'll say on that.
They
But,
said it last week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
you're
It's
fine.
fine.
yeah. So
It would
when
have
we have
been
the
quite
time,
the spoiler.
we'll look at this. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Edgard.
Yes,
Thank you for your work, and I think hopefully people are happy about that change. Yes.
If I could say one more thing
No.
regarding brawls.
Oh.
If I want to actually ask the community to, if you guys feel there are any brawl locations that, I don't think ledging is an issue so much in brawl, but if there are certain maps that you feel could use some love or some changes, I'll be reading the forums in the next coming days and everything. So
You're a
feel free
brave
to post
man.
feel free to post your ideas. I'll read them and we'll see what we can do.
Great. We always like calls for feedback. Yes.
More data.
More data. So that is it. That short section is it for our patch notes section. So we are going to
There's
close
Luke
out.
dancing
I know.
there.
Luke needs to get on here. So thank you, Bio, Edgard, Steph, and Carmack. That was great. Hopefully we'll have you back on the show very soon. And I think we will just re-roll those hero teasers maybe so we can get Luke out here on the couch for Hero Series stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Luke, welcome back.
Hey, thank you very much.
You
Mr.
are
Pope.
still technically on vacation.
I am on vacation. I am on vacation, but last week I did my segment in a Walmart parking lot in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at 11:30 p.m. on the Wednesday night.
It worked, I think.
Well, I don't know. When the show was on, I actually went to the beach because I was there for the beach with my kids. So this week I decided to, because here in the run of show it says via audio or in person. So I said, well, let's go in. I missed the guys, and it's the last week of qualifier. But before we jump in, when we started the show, you said you love the Islander because you love of kilt.
Yes.
Please.
I will never wear a kilt on the show.
Don't wear a kilt, because with the angle of that camera, this would become an R-rated
Yes,
show, and we don't want that.
We
So
would have to be streaming on a
please-
different service, I
Yeah,
think.
and when preparing the video that you saw for season 3, they were asking me a bunch of questions, and obviously some didn't make it. And one of the things was like, when you think about season 3 in the Islander, what do you think? And my immediate response was, freedom! Yeah, that's how I see it when I see the Islander.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Yes.
So, Hero Series.
Let's get into it.
So yes, get into it. So Max, we can cut to the standing. So let's begin with the North America on the PC first. So Barras kept his #1 spot, but only scored 35 points this week. Bandanas and Scorebrand scored 25 points. So actually the first 3 players had a very bad week.
Right.
That's a funny thing about the week 4 on PC North America. And that allowed Cypher PK to win week number 4 and climb, I think, from number 11 to number 4. So Cypher PK managed to make the cut.
He had a really, really good comeback.
Oh yeah, but he won week 4, so it allowed him to get 150 points. And one of the wild card is going to the number 5, Kiri TV, with 140 points. So those are the first 5 players going to the final next week in actually in 9 days
Yeah.
to LA. On PS4, well, thankfully Lord Servant didn't fall on his face in order to miss his chance, because I think he had to finish like in the last 32 and Rukio had to win in order for him to steal his spot, but no, it's with 325 points. He is coming to the final. And on Xbox One, and this is like, it's great. Last week when I did my report, I was like, okay, so the best thing would be for XECS Destroyer to win against Seraph.
Yep.
And so this way there would be a tie and 300 points.
Right.
And force a tiebreaker match. This is exactly what happened this week. XECS did beat Seraph, and they had a tiebreaker match, but Seraph managed to keep his spot. He was number one all the way. He almost got clipped at the end, but he managed to stay on, and he is coming to LA. So for the North American section, as we see on the graph, we have 2 Canadians, 4 Americans, and 1 Mexican.
That's pretty good.
All the countries of North America are represented, so this is going to be very, very great. So let's do a quick jump to Brazil for a minute. So BTU Lawrence Sid is joining Bandana, Scorbrand, Barras, Cypher PK, and Kiri TV for the final on PC. So 1 Brazilian, 4 Americans, 1 Mexican, and 2 Canadians.
That's great.
That's great. So let's cross the Atlantic now. And this is very, very fun to watch first on PC. Before I talk about the results, I just want to do a big 2 thumbs up to Sophie Face.
Yes.
I know, Sophie, you earned your spot. It's not possible for you to join us in LA next week. It's very sad. It makes us sad.
Yes, very
that
sad.
you won't be able to join us.
You know, Pascal in particular is sad. He says you're the only person who defends him in the chat.
Yes, and can we give Pascal a credit for a minute? Like,
Do we have to?
do it, but yeah, let's do it for once.
Okay.
So let's show this magnificent piece. This is Pascal's doing, actually.
Yeah.
He had the idea of doing those things to give away. This will be given away to a side tournament we're going to have in LA next week. I won't give you more about that. But this is like the emblem of Season 3, so it's really, really nice. And anyway, I just wanted to share it.
Good job, Pascal.
Yeah, good job, Pascal. Okay, so let's get back to the reality now. So Sophie Face, we're gonna miss you in LA. We're very sad that you won't be able to make it. So on PC, so Clutchmeister, he was number 1 all the way through. Now he finished number 2. There was something behind the scene, a tiebreaker, and Solips is number 1 with 275. Clutchmeister number 2. And we saw a constant progression of Solips throughout the competition, so he's one to watch next week in LA. So Clutchmeister number 2. SB Albernican is number 3. Zeobu Fuse, who also climbed up, is number 4.
Yep.
1. I love this name. I don't know how they will do it in casting. So 1. It's very, congrats for the name. Is coming, and Enzax as well earns his spot. So again, if you see the representation there, it goes from Russia to Poland to Denmark to the UK to Estonia. It's a wide representation, and we love that. So
And with one and Hansax, those are the 2 wild cards. For
exactly correct. Those are the 2 wild cards.
And in fact, they were going to have a tiebreaker.
They have a tiebreaker to determine who's 5 and who's 6.
Yeah.
Because this will have just an impact of seeding for next week.
Yep.
I'm going to get into that right after we go over all the standings. On PS4, well, what a surprise. Quelle surprise, Jamal. Jamal is like 4 weeks in a row, number 1. So it's going to be Jamal against Brave Lord Servant next week. Will Jamal lose for the first time? We don't know. Jamal, like 4 wins in a row. You're the only one who managed to do that.
I'm excited.
So,
I'm excited
congratulations.
I'm excited to meet Jamal. He has streamed our show before and made comments about it. So I'm excited to talk to him in person about this.
Me too, I am. And the proof I'm on vacation, my wife just sent me my grocery list to go do after the show. Yeah, I have a bunch of shit to buy. And then on Xbox One, Arc6712 kept his spot. I think he won. Yeah, he did beat That Junkie Pie in the final match of week 4 and earned the spot for the final. So again, wide representation, like from all over Europe. It's very, very cool to have that for next week. So how will it work next week? Just quickly. We won't go. We can quit the stats. So next week we have 12 players on PC.
Yep.
So there will be 2 groups of 6. There will be a round robin. From there, we're going to take the top 4 of each group, and they're going to move into the bracket to know who's facing who in this. Like, maybe we're going to give some info next week during the show. Roman and I will already be in LA next week during the Warriors Den. We might try to do something over Skype. Our last experiment
was not so
on
good.
Skype from LA was a disaster. We were seeing the ceiling of our hotel room. We're going to try to do something better this time, but we are going to be in LA already for the final.
Yep.
So the top 4 of the 2 groups are moving on. Obviously, Arc6712 and Seraph will face each other for Xbox One. Jamal FR will face Ravelord Servant for PlayStation 4.
Yep.
And there will be other matches that we will start showing more content on that stream. So there'll be more guests as well to participate. So it's going to be a very interesting show. And,
yeah. In fact, that's people should definitely watch because that is your first chance to really see the new heroes in action, the new maps in action. So definitely.
Correct. That's where they're going to be played.
It's on the 12th.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, the 12th all day long.
Yep.
So depending on where you are, just follow us and check on Twitter. You're going to get the exact time of when it starts, depending on where you live. And there was something else running actually at the same.
Alongside this, we ran a caster competition where people submitted their clips to be casters at the show on the 12th. We had a lot of responses actually.
Yeah,
I was really
really
impressed because it was a pretty short time period. We got a lot of great responses.
Yeah.
And we then opened it up to community voting.
Yes, and that actually, I want to, because I saw something on Twitter about community voting.
Yes.
And I wanted to address that because it's one of the things that I will either take credit or they eat for it. Because the same thing we did for the tournament with the emblems, when we asked the community to vote, we did the same thing here. It's something that very dear to my heart, to consult you people on certain things, and this is one of those. What happened is there was a pre-selection made,
Right.
and then people could vote. It was not a vote for everybody. So even if you don't have a huge base of followers, you could still apply to be the caster for the competition.
Right.
And if your video was good enough, like professional enough, and we felt like you had a potential to be a caster on the show, you would have, your name would be up for voting. So,
Which, in fact, are everybody's first choice, Verbalocity. Everyone really liked his submission, and he does not have a big base, but that didn't matter to us. He was the best entry. Unfortunately, passport issues, he couldn't do it.
passport is
It's a thing.
that's a thing you need to get into a country. So it's So number 1. We actually showed him on the show 2-3 weeks ago. King Richard, 15.
Well done, King Richard.
King Richard was, remember, talking over his own gameplay.
Own live gameplay.
His own live gameplay. He was amazing. I'm really looking forward to meet you. Vivid Nas, who we had as a guest a while back, who's one of our big
the moderator on Reddit,
on the subreddit.
organized the Reddit tournament.
So they both receive invites to come. Deathstalker Synchro finished 3rd. So freaking close.
By a hair.
Oh yeah, it's like we needed a photo finish to determine who was coming, who would receive the invitation to come to LA.
So keep up the great works, Deathstalker. We're a big fan of what you do frequently. So
it was great. The past 4 weeks have been amazing. We saw good participation, and now I cannot wait for this show to happen on the 12th to see who's going to be crowned a champion, who's going to walk away with the $2,000 per platform. For first position, so it's great. I think for the first iteration of the Hero series, we are very, very happy with how it went. It's congrats to everyone who joined. Some of us, some of you managed to like Jamal to destroy everything, and it was like easy to see. Like even last week, like that's what I mentioned in the recap. He already earned his spot last week.
Right.
It was impossible for anybody to catch up. Same thing for Barras. But as we saw on Xbox One in North America, we needed a tiebreaker match between Seraph and XCCS Destroyer to know who would be able to come to the show.
Right. So I'm psyched. I can't wait. And just to clarify, as I mentioned earlier, we will be showing the Season 3 stuff at that stream. The tournament portion, the competition, is on the live version of the game. We're not going to... We're not going to pull a brand new level of Mario thing on you where you have to learn it on the fly. You'll be playing the build of the game that you know.
Yes. Thank you for making So the build that is available online, that's what you're going to play
Yeah.
during the event. We won't suddenly throw you like even if the change maps are great,
Yeah.
but I don't think those maps are even in the rotation.
I don't think
because
so.
One thing that Ed did that people are not aware of is when we launched the tournament, he reached out to me and said, hey, which map do we use? Like, we're making changes in some of the maps. We have to make sure we use the best maps for the players. So that's like, it really helped to address which map we're going to use. And that's been going on for the entire tournament when like we had the ban on one of the character.
Yep.
So it's the team has been very involved and followed very closely
Oh, yes.
everything that's been happening in the tournament.
And I think we learned a lot too.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
It was our first time doing it. I do think it went well, but we also learned a lot. So next time we do it, we will obviously build on that.
But you know, Eric, like everything we've done, like we try to, and I think we showed you people that we care, we deeply care. We mentioned it many times. We deeply care about the longevity, about the long term of the game. The roadmap that we presented last week alongside with the dedicated server announcement is a proof of that. And the same thing for the tournament. Like we're doing one, we're going to gather feedback. That's one of the reasons why we're going next week. That's why I'm going to go there with Roman as well, and you're going to be there.
Yep.
And we're going to talk with all the participants. We want to improve, want to make this better and better and better every time. Our game is now like bigger than it was 6 months ago. It's better than it was 6 months ago, and it's going to keep improving and keep increasing, like everything we do.
Yeah. So I hope you're all super psyched about season 3 stuff.
I am.
I am.
Freedom!
I mean, what Luke just said is true. I think that there has never been a better time to play For Honor, which is cool. I think for the people who've stuck with us, also cool for newcomers.
And I think if someone stopped and is coming back, they're going to be blown away by a lot of the changes that happen.
Yeah.
Like the improvements that happen. Like the Barack stuff is super freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's the first time I saw like, shit, that's cool.
the real time.
Yeah, it's very amazing.
Yes.
So,
Thank
that's
you.
it for me.
Do you want to stick around? We're going to do our community corner.
Oh, I can stick around.
And rather than me sitting here alone on a couch laughing.
Okay, I'm going to sit around with you.
Okay, Max, hit it. Community corner. All right, so we've got a bunch of relatively quick clips here. If you're watching the show for the first time, this is something we do every week. We like to share clips that we find out on the community channels. They're generally funny. Sometimes it's just good gameplay. I think this week they're all funny ones, actually. So let's dive into it. This is a GIF from Crazy Weeb on Reddit. I must warn you, I'm very good at backflips.
I love the name of people.
Right?
Sorry, and it's the first time I see all of those since I'm
Yes.
out. And there you go. Bye bye.
It's a good move.
Yeah,
Good move.
yeah, very, very clever.
Do you want to try to read the next one since you love reading people's names?
Wow, Whoa, cool fool. Wow. Whoa, cool fool. On Reddit, it's a gift. When your friend roasts you, but you still try to look cool in front of the girl.
This is so good.
Damn.
This is. I laughed out loud when I first saw this. So
From Whoa, cool fool.
yep.
When your friend roasts you, but you still try to look cool in front of the girl.
And from this one's a video from Bimmer Fixer on Reddit. Well, that escalated quickly. my God. So good.
Yeah.
I love how it just calms down right at the end, just the way it started. All right, from Rowan Sprite on Reddit, it's a GIF. Big sis Conk defends little sis PK against the schoolyard bully. PK's doing her best against the shinobi. Barely hanging in there. Oh! Good teamwork there from the conqueror defending their little sister.
And boom!
Great.
There you go.
Great.
Bye-bye. You're gone.
All right, you take this
Oh
one.
yeah. This one from either Joshua Key or Chocolate Jesus.
Chocolate Jesus.
I asked to say that one. I love this game. That's a video, 44 seconds. Love
right.
this game. Let's go. Oh, and the ray of light at the end for the big celebration of the 8 players.
Oh, and that's not something actually I mentioned, but in the last patch and as well in the Season 3 DLC, our audio guys did a big pass. So people started noticing more voice coming from the characters while they do either an execution or an emote like that. So you'll start to see more of the more sounds coming out of the heroes. So that's cool. So next one. Oh, okay. This is good. It's a much longer video, so we're not showing the whole thing. But Crazy Dude Gaming on YouTube made this thing called Another Overhyped Orochi Video.
よろしくお願いします。先輩。
I'm a hip hop superstar. I got too many hoes in know who we are. We look fresh to death, hopping out the car. Anime girls running from here and far. Young so I got the game on lock. Too many girls trying to get up on her job. Yeah, young so I got the game on lock. Mama shop, let me show you how we run on some blood. We know got stacks on deck, spending every single dollar on some anime sex. Dirty booty be my mother for those anime breasts. Wanna see you bend it over while I'm throwing those checks. Yeah, I'm 13 with the wife in a dream, but now living in bed with my more than team. My mama to stay green while I'm 47 lean, and my shit stay fresh, so hot, so clean.
Don't fucking run away from me! Ah! Help me! Help me! Surprise! I must warn you, I'm very good at backflips.
I love the creativity. Like
Yeah,
the music and stuff. It's
So good.
And by the way, Cody Smith, I'm glad that I remind you your French-Canadian version of your dad. Just saw your tweet, and it's very funny. And I think the shocking part for me is people are watching, and I should remind them of their dad.
Of their dad, yeah.
So
Well,
it's maybe I'm getting too old.
we have a young audience. Okay,
Domelele.
Domelele.
Domelele. Oh my God.
That's good.
We should have this one with the ukulele. Domelele.
Domelele is got a GIF. Crashing charge gone wrong. Right. What could possibly go wrong here?
Oh.
Just the explosion of fire makes me happy. Okay.
One shot, one more.
Sure. We can loop
Here
it
he
around
comes.
again.
Like, come on, come on, come on, come on. Whoop! Missed me. And boom, and fire.
All right, next one.
Do you risk death for glory from Dab for Domini? Obviously, you do your death for
Dab
glory.
for Dobiny. Dab for
Dab for
Dobiny.
Domini. Dab for Domini.
Sorry. I'll never do that again.
Thankfully, my daughters are not watching. They would make fun of me. Okay.
Let's check it out. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. He got greedy. He got greedy. Chat likes the dabs. couple of bad dad dabs. No more bad dad dabs. Just one. Just one.
Okay. We're done. We broke the chat.
Good.
Okay, moving on.
I think that's a Twitch rule. If you dab on Twitch, you ruin your show.
Yeah, but the show is almost over.
All right. Ill Meat on Reddit.
Bring him to daddy.
Oh, he he got me with the inhale, but he bumped his teammate in.
Yep, I'm going up. Whoever's at 8.
One's going to C. We're good to C.
You're a wrestling fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
This reminds me of Bret Hart and Jill the
Jim
Anvil
the
Neidhart.
Anvil Neidhart.
Who was sticking him up and
Yep.
boom!
The Hart Foundation
The
in
Hart
for
Foundation.
honor. I love it. What? Oh, this is our last one from BoneFat21 on YouTube.
We had to finish with something that is fat.
Yes, of course. That was close.
Victory! Victory!
Right? So he could have gotten the kill, but because he had bleed on him, the Shigoki died.
Oh, die.
Ooh,
That's good.
that must have been painful for that Shigoki. So that's it for our clips, and that's it for our show. Thank you for tuning in. I want to remind you to tune in next week.
Yes.
So we will have full versions of those little hero teasers that you saw. That'll be the full versions for you to check out.
Awesome.
We're going to have our art team on to show you the maps and the heroes and how they created them, all that. It went over pretty well last time. Then on the so that's on the 10th, and on the 12th we have our big stream
Yes.
out in LA. The culmination of the Hero series, but also your first chance to really see those heroes and maps in action and all their moves and all that. Roman will be there, so we can probably go in even more in depth on the heroes than we're able to today or next week. So thank you. I'll also, one last thing I forgot to mention at the top of the show, if you're interested, we are going to be doing a panel at PAX, PAX West in Seattle, the first weekend of September. We're doing a live Warriors Den. So Bio will be there, Roman and Damien will be there, I'll be there. And that's live in Seattle on Monday, September 4th. So if you're coming to the show, please come to that. If you haven't decided yet, I think there might still be Monday tickets available, possibly. I'm super psyched about that, so I hope to see you there. We'll probably be doing other things like meetups, with Bio, Roman, and Damien, and we just want to meet you at the show if you're there. So please let us know.
Is Damien doing a PowerPoint masterclass?
Probably. Probably. We're planning some fun things for it, so come to that if you can. It will also be streamed, actually. It's one of their streaming panels, so if you can't be there, you'll still be able to see it. So That's very cool. And finally, I think Fred in the chat is going to kick off our raffle. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next week on the Warriors Den.
Take care.